Well, it looks like we're going straight to our guest.
Next, all right. Well, we are welcoming now to the program Petr Just, who is a politologist and an expert in this field. So good to have you on the program. Thanks so much for joining us here.
Good afternoon from Prague.
Well, perhaps we can ask you about those comments that have emerged out of that Emergency Security Council meeting, because obviously that is an important development that has come out after this attempted assassination. Perhaps some of your thoughts and remarks after that.
I have to admit I haven't watched the press briefing either before or after Security Council, but in general, of course, we can assume what was happening and what is happening at the Security Council right now, or whenever it was happening, because as you mentioned, this was an unprecedented event in the Slovakian politics. The modern Slovakian politics has never experienced anything like this. So the discussions that will be going on, not only today, not only during today's meeting, but definitely in the days to come, will involve several aspects of security, be it the personal security, like closest security around the people who are protected, who have this protection because they are high constitutional officers, and lead up to some larger scale protection schemes, such as the protection of the buildings, the governmental buildings, and especially since as the situation to happen during the trip outside of Bratislava, outside of the capital city. So, of course, also discussion about how to ensure in future event and similar tragedy will not happen. Always some event being held outside of the capital. Usually the measures have. Yes.
On this subject, we do actually now have some of those conclusions from that Emergency Security Council meeting. Just want to share that with you and our viewers. Let's roll that now.
A disagreement over political opinion turned into premeditated murder. How does a person who once called himself a pacifist become an extremist who reacts to a difference of opinion by picking up a weapon and attempting to take another person's life with no remorse? I think the time has come for us to make an effort to calm the passions that have consumed Slovakia in recent months. None of us want to live in a society where we fear being attacked physically or verbally for voicing our opinions. Just as this serious injury may force Robert Fico to relearn how to perform certain actions, it may also force our democracy to once again learn how to walk. Maybe democracy will have to learn to tolerate a difference of opinion again, and to tolerate the fact that there is no single path that Slovakia, the European Union, or the whole world should follow. I want to confirm that the police are currently investigating only one version of the attack. The perpetrator has been charged with the crime of attempted murder with premeditation. The only version that's being considered at this point is that it was a politically motivated act. The assailant opposed the abolition of the Special Prosecutor's Office, the suspension of military aid to Ukraine, interference with public television, and the dismissal of the chairman of the Judicial Council. These were all the reasons given by the suspect and the reasons why he does not agree with the policies of the current government. Why did the perpetrator decide to publicly act like this and commit the assassination of the Prime Minister with whom he politically disagrees? I can confirm that the suspect is not a member of any radicalized political group, neither right-wing nor left-wing. It is about a lone wolf whose actions and decisions were accelerated after the presidential elections. He was dissatisfied with the result of the presidential election. That's when he decided to act.
So we have some more information that has emerged out of this meeting, but I wanted to ask you about perhaps the wider situation in Slovakia when it comes to the popularity that Smer actually has right now, because a lot of it is ascribed to perhaps the wider phenomenon of disinformation. Perhaps some say it's a hybrid warfare that has been taking place, that's implanted deeply in Slovakia. But I wanted to ask your opinion, since you are a political scientist. Perhaps you can give us some of your insight. Perhaps some of it is due to widespread disinformation, but we have discussed this actually before. is this actually a phenomenon that has been growing over the years, this popularity for Smer? Is it something that is actually symptomatic of Slovakian society, that there is wider discontent over a wider array of issues? And if so, what are those issues that Slovakian society is dealing with? What are the issues that actually is leading to this popularity that Smer has? Obviously, Fico is he is a figure that leads to a lot of conflicting emotions within the society, but nonetheless, there is some well-embedded popularity for him and his party. Why is that?
Robert Fico is a very pragmatic politician. He always knew how to communicate with the people. He always knew what topic to choose in order to attract the votes from the people and to be attractive enough to be elected. Already a few years back, when he entered the politics, he entered with very, very high level of popularity. He was young, he was energetic, he was very charismatic. He had an appeal towards the people, and he always knew how to act with the public environment. He always knew how to act, what issues to address. His partial decline of popularity came only after the assassination of Jan Kuciak, the investigative journalist, in 2018, which, by the way, uncovered a lot of chains that Mr. Fico and his allies in politics made with high-ranking policemen, high-ranking members of the judiciary, and other top civil servant officers. But that actually bounced back after the very chaotic rule of the previous government. So basically, he was brought back to power and he regained the popularity, not much for what he was doing, but that he was seen next to the quite chaotic government of especially Igor Matovic as a stabilizer, as a certain stabilizing point. So this is what brought him back to power and what keeps him on quite high levels of the popularity, although he is not the most popular politician from, let's say, the ruling wing of the Slovakian politics, because Petr Pellegrini, even before he was elected the president of Slovakia, he had much higher popularity among the coalition leaders. But Robert Fico also knows how to speak to people. He knows not only what topics to choose, as I said before, but also how to present them to the people. As you mentioned correctly, his speeches are sometimes very emotional, very divisive, and this also brings him a lot of supporters. But on the other hand, it also recruits a lot of opponents, and one of his opponents did what he did yesterday.
Yeah, indeed. And I think also want to just go on that statement we just heard in this Security Council meeting there, or Emergency Council meeting. Democracy must learn how to walk again. I think that was quite an important statement there that was made. And with that, also in line with what Marie has said here, this goes back, I mean, you cannot just change this overnight, right? This is something that revolves around a longer process. Many serious questions will have to be asked. A lot of analysis will have to be done. And hopefully that can fix these root causes of this hatred. But look, we're going to be concluding that here now. Petr Just, thank you so much for your insight there, political scientist out of Prague. Thank you for that today.
Thank you for your invitation. Have a nice day.